There is something here that is amazing and phenomenal. Something I discovered much later when doing my pheasant projects. Besides natural incubation, where you can set eggs underneath setting hens, this is like your silkies and your cochins to get your catchability up and everything. But you still got to raise them basically artificially. But there is another one out there, and that is the game chicken. Not this is the hen that comes from these fighting chickens, and you've probably all heard about making chickens so aggressive. That damn ass thunderstorm, and it's snowing like crazy out here. These fighting roosters. It's against the law to do any of this type of sport and all of that kind of thing, and I completely understand that, and I do agree with it. The roosters are extremely aggressive. You cannot keep them together. You cannot raise them. However, the hen, the female, she's pretty much got the same coloration as your original jungle fowl stock, and where all supposedly domestic chickens have come from. She's a large bird, and she does have the broodiness instinct within her, and she will go to set. And she will set as good as your cochins and your silkies. However, you cannot just move her around like wherever you think you can. Once she goes to set, and you've got a good clutch of eggs here going, and you've candled them all and they're all entirely fertile, you could probably give her, and I'm talking about the pheasants, 14, maybe 16, possibly 18 eggs. Well, let's keep it down. Alright. She will hatch. Those chicks will become instantly imprinted on her. Also, if you're hatching a few in the incubator that are hatching at the same time, and you could introduce a few extra where she could possibly handle 20, maybe stretching at 24. Now here's what I'm thinking, and this is what really has worked. She is a very aggressive hen. These hens aren't problem keeping. I shied away from this breed for years for that reason, because I didn't want to get into that game chicken fighting kind of cock kind of fight thing at all. Never caught my interest, and that's probably why I've lost years of never even thinking about the hen. I assume that, like most chickens, they have lost that instinct, because the majority of them, especially your meat birds and your leghorns and everything, you might get lucky if somebody sits or not, but generally they just keep dropping eggs. But this one does do a great job, and with that edge of her. Let me give you an example here. If she's got a clutch of chicks and she's running your fields, this is what I'm talking about, free ranging your pheasants that got the correct genetics. Otherwise, you're probably going to waste your time. You have to understand that. It's not like, just giving her a set of pheasant eggs and she's going to raise them properly and expect them birds, once they become young adults and into adults, they're going to survive. No, they're not. Probably not. But if they got that wild kick-ass shit in there, you will notice that if you got your right genetics together when they're in an incubator and you pull open that tray and you're picking up your chicks, they're gonna start running. They're gonna be right at the beginning. You're gonna notice the behavioral difference, and that's you know you're on the right track. So you got that. Now you get them underneath that hen. I'm talking about that game hen, not your bantam stuff. Your that fighting chicken game. and you got that female. And they're not hard to keep in great groups. Don't bother with the roosters. Forget about the roosters. If you got one, just keep one. Otherwise, they'll kill each other. That's how aggressive those damn things are. And like I said, I'm not into that sport. I just see the benefits within this hen. Now, let me further explain. When she's hatched and she's ready to raise, she is extremely aggressive and she is extremely protective, which is fabulous. And then you can free range a day-old chick with her. Well, I wouldn't recommend starting completely that way. I would, fence her off and allow her, a few days in getting that, the proper protein and those chicks and everything, and let her habits work. And then as she ventures and continues to go and ventures a little farther into your fields next to you and comes back and she races, whether it's predators or whatever tries to approach these chicks, she is definitely going to defend them beyond the call of duty. I'm telling you, it's I would say it's not unfair, but it's an advantage. It is definitely an advantage. You can hatch just about anything underneath a chicken. Whatever egg you put underneath there, whether it be a turkey or a duck or whatever, and they're hatched, they'll become imprinted. The mother doesn't know the difference, and she'll continue to raise them as her own. As her own. See? She will defend it for her life. And that extra aggression in that fighting hen gives you that slight edge against the conditions we have today with a lot of predators. And here's what I'm going to say is, I have seen these game chickens with their little chicks, no matter what they happen to be. She thinks that they're own. She knows that's her mother. That's what they only understand. That's all that matters. And has defended them off with a big bird like a turkey coming in there and trying to kick her ass. She kicks their ass. You see? If you've been doing this for a while, you know exactly what I'm saying. Okay? You know exactly what I'm saying. It's the defense of these little chicks that's important for them to do in the wild. If you can do this, in other words, those little chicks will not be lost. Your mortality rate within her family group of these pheasants with your F1 genetics have that edge with her. And she will eventually walk into the field. She will eventually travel wherever she knows. And she is, brave as hell. She knows her walks of life. And she knows it all. And those little chicks are going to get educated into the field without having a little bit less contact with humans. It's a way, but it's a very, what would you say, smaller scale, extremely smaller scale, a way of doing it. But, hey, what do you care? Success is success, right? It does work. Oh, it works. But it's going to be a little bit more. You've got to be there. You've got to make sure everything's going okay. You've got to pay attention to everything that's going on every day. You've got to get up in the morning. You've got to be there at night. You've got to pay attention. And also, you have to have some sort of a good idea of predator control. Predator control means setting your live traps 24/7 to keep away your cats, your coons, your possums, and all the rest to get these birds. And once they reach that stage, once they get about 6-8 weeks and they're like totally free, and she will still call them in, but they may flush, totally disappear. That is great. But they know her call, and they will come back to her. Just leave everything alone. You can't beat that kind of setup. I'm telling you, on a small scale, it is fabulous. Later.